Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Wait till the sound gets going. Hopefully it's all working and everything's working well. Thumbs up if you can hear me, if you can see me. I'm looking at the live stream and it's not doing anything here. Okay. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me? We see you, Bix. That's good. Can you hear me? Josh Lake in the house. All right. Good. 5x5. I look orange. Must be my background. Clearly not. Actually, it might be my tan. I have one of those Spurdy vitamin D lamps. A Spurdy vitamin D lamp. We're in the winter. So absolutely, it's time to get your vitamin D through other ways. Lots of supplements. Vitamin D is going to save your life. I had a discussion with Ken Schwartz over at Purple Power C60, and we talked about vitamin D and how important it is right now that everybody gets their vitamin D. Look at the test results and the autopsies of people who have passed on. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. I do want to talk about, I published a video this morning. I don't remember the name. It was about the great silver debate between Big Dog 111, my buddy Big Dog, and Robert, who is the guy who made the video that Theta is Godzilla. Great video, awesome video. But it was, I always watch anything that says it's going to be a great silver debate. Boy, this is going to be a good discussion of why silver is good or bad. And I always come away with, the people taking the bad side of the argument have no clue about what they're talking about. I hate to say it, Robert had no clue. It was kind of like pulling teeth to watch the discussion. And they ended up just talking about, relating silver to NFTs and Theta and Theta Fuel. I don't know why, completely different things. But his argument was when silver hits $50 or $60, all the silver that has been stored up by all the stackers is going to come flooding into the market and destroy the price of silver. And that's just 100% backwards of how all markets work, actually. You'd like to say people, buy low and sell high, but that's not what happens. What happens is as the price rises, this is the main reason they're holding the price down. As the price rises, people look into it. People start buying it. People get excited about it. People who've bought a little buy more. Manufacturers who need it to make their products start buying it to fill up their inventories for fear that they won't get it in time. That's the way true markets work. Now, we don't have a true market. That's the other problem. And they didn't get into that much either. And Robert was saying, there's 4 billion ounces of silver that'll come onto the market. Well, that's 5 or 6 days of trading on the COMEX. It's that won't smash the price down. It would take an act of God or a criminal act to keep the price down. And right now, it's a criminal act every day. Last Wednesday, just for example, 750, or a week ago Wednesday, 750 million ounces of electronic silver shorts were thrown on the COMEX. Of course, there's a long for every short. Both sides of that trade was probably the criminals because they play both sides of the trade. They collude with each other. Probably the two big shorts right now are Bank of America and Citibank. And not only are they short, but they have leased silver from JP Morgan to cover some silver IOUs that they had. That's like a double short. So yeah, if Bank of America or Citibank goes down, the whole system goes down. So keep an eye for that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. I did get a couple questions beforehand, a couple quick comments on I think the Rittenhouse verdict came out that it was found not guilty because it was in self-defense. Obviously, it was self-defense. Interesting that verdict came out because all the lefties used to have control of all the courts. Now they might be losing control of the narrative. I believe they are. But there's a lot of other things that need to fall away to have faith in our criminal justice system. We'll see. We'll see what happens as they go forward. And the criminals in Congress passed, at least through the House, another multi-trillion-dollar spending plan. And at that very moment, they slammed gold and silver just a little bit. Just because it gets back to the philosophy that people who tell me, hey, Bix, it's inflation that's causing the silver price will rise because of inflation, that's not true. As a matter of fact, if you watch the silver price, they slam it down when there is inflation. It is 100% controlled. Every day, every trade, there's no way around it except for stopping the criminality, closing the COMEX, closing the CFTC, closing the SEC. Gary Gensler, by the way, was in charge of the SEC when J.P. Morgan was, or charge of the CFTC when J.P. Morgan was rigging the silver markets. How come he hasn't commented on that? I mean, it was literally right under his nose. Ted Butler went into his office and showed him how they were doing it, and they didn't do anything. Bart Chilton ended up having to say it was a political decision. It was a political decision for the regulator not to enforce the law. How could, why do you think anything's wrong with that? That's par for the course these days. So everything's a political decision now. We need to get rid of the politicians, truthfully. And I think that's in the works also. The banks go down and these politicians are exposed for what they are. We could see a whole new America or a fractured America, which I don't have a problem with. Are we a bunch of states that came together to create the United States of America? Were we supposed to have this monster, gigantic, controlling all federal government that tells you what to do? No. So I would be happy with anything that other than what we have right now is kind of the mantra that I'm hearing around my people. Anything other than what we have right now, and what we have right now is the planned march towards socialism. That's why they're cutting off supply from China. That's why California, it's almost impossible to ship anything into the ports and get it on the road. Truckers are saying, what the hell? You are making it impossible for us to take goods to people. Why are you doing that? They are doing it on purpose. On purpose. It's part of the plan. That's why they lock people up, to destroy the middle class, make you dependent upon our government, who has no problem signing their name to trillions of dollars. What fixes this? Silver. Allowing silver to be freely traded would destroy the banking system, which is what we need. I don't see anything else that can fix it. Everything else will take a decision by Congress, by the Fed, by the people. It would mean decision makers. Silver, on the other hand, we have a silver catastrophe, which means over $50 silver is a catastrophe in the banker's eyes, mainly because they lose so much money on their short position as the silver prices rise. But yeah, that's the only thing I think can take down this banking cabal and take out the pedo cabal, the crypto cabal, all these cabals. So there you go. That's my take on that. Let me read to you a couple of the questions that I had. And here's the first one. If silver is so undervalued, why don't precious metal dealers hold as much as they can? Why don't precious metals dealers hold as much as they can? That's kind of easy to explain. Why don't stock brokers hold as much stocks as they can? They do hold some, probably, because they're interested in their business, but they make money on commissions. They make money facilitating trades. So not a lot of the precious metal dealers are like multi-zillionaires, or they probably wouldn't be working for a living. But I don't know any of the precious metal dealers who don't have their own skin in the game. Now, I'm not saying the larger ones don't have any, as far as for their business, they don't want skin in the game. They aren't looking for the price of metal to go up, down, or sideways. They aren't betting on that. That's why they use COMEX futures and options to hedge their position. They're in that business to make a spread on what they buy it for versus what they sell it for, minus all the costs, and there's their profit. But some of the dealers deal in other ways. Some don't use the COMEX. Some have like a base inventory that they keep resupplying. But a lot of the bigger guys will just use COMEX contracts, and they'll buy $5 million worth of silver, retail silver, and they'll hedge it so that they don't care if the price goes up or down. They're still going to make their spread. So that's kind of where that is. I think a better question is, why don't these multi-zillion-dollar hedge funds that are supposed to be the smartest people in the world do exactly what JB Diamond did at JP Morgan and buy as much physical silver as possible and stick it in their inventory? And then when these banks that are short silver get in trouble, they can lease them the silver and charge like gigantic interest rates to lease them the silver and get a guarantee that they get the silver back. I wouldn't do that if I were a bank, because I don't think the entities that are leasing silver are in their right mind, which means they're probably doing it out of desperation, which means they might not be around to pay back your silver. I see no way that Bank of America can pay back. I heard it's 200 million ounces that they borrowed from JP Morgan. I don't see any way they can ever pay that back. And maybe that's the plan. Maybe JP Morgan wants to take over Citibank and Bank of America, because Citibank's doing the same thing. Maybe JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, wants to take over everybody, so he gets them on the hook for all this silver, crashes their bank, and takes them over. Could be. Jamie Dimon's probably the number one banking criminal on the planet these days. Although there are others, he's the most high profile, and in the United States, it's the largest bank. Definitely in silver, they are still orchestrating. And mind you, they aren't doing it alone. They're doing it with the help of the U.S. Treasury, Federal Reserve System, and especially the regulators. And how do I know that? They got charged the largest fine in U.S. history, $920 million for commodity manipulation. And yet, they're still allowed to be the custodian for all the physical silver that SLV supposedly owns, SLV shareholders own. BlackRock is in on this game too. And, oh, by the way, you look at the COMEX warehouse data, they own over 50% of, well, I don't know if they own it, but it's in their warehouse, over 50% of silver. Remember, the Hunt brothers couldn't mess around with 100 million ounces of physical silver without having the government shut them down. And here's JP Morgan messing around with billions of ounces. I don't know how many they have. Supposedly they have 1.2 billion ounces that they control and own for them and their customers, but their customers might be the U.S. government. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So that's kind of where that one is. Let's see. Who's in the chat anyway? Oh, there's my wife. And Paige. And Crypto Chris Card. How you doing, bud? Al Murray. What's up? Jay McCabe. What's up? Hemp Hobbit. Love the name. What's up? Stray Dog. Hey, did anybody see the Big Dog Great Silver Debate? Well, not so great. They shouldn't have named it great. I got to talk to my friend Big Dog. By the way, he'd be happy to know I am holding my guy right here. This is the T-Fuel Gnome. Love this thing. Hey, Big Dog, send me the Theta Gnome. I need the Theta Gnome too. And then we're going to get a T-Drop Gnome pretty soon. So anybody right now who is staking Theta, do not unstake, no matter what the price does, because you're accruing T-Drop for the drop on February 1st. And that's free stuff into your wallet. I talked to Jenny about the value of T-Drop in the future. She says it'll be pretty valuable. So, I mean, she didn't say it's going to be off the charts. I don't think it'll be as valuable as T-Fuel, but it'll be in some kind of ratio, probably 10 to 1 to T-Fuel or 5 to 1 to T-Fuel, which could be pretty good money. Anything extra? Crypto Angels in the house. What's up? All these names I've known over the years of touring. Oh, by the way, the tour is on. We haven't set the date yet, but we're thinking on 2/2/22. 02/02/2022. So February 2nd of 2022. We're thinking we'll hit the road. And I think we're going to hit about 20 different cities along the way. Stay low during the winter months. Try to stay out of the snow. And then come up, have another tour of 20 more cities later in the kind of the beginning of the summer. And then see where it goes from there. Somebody's asking how I like my Echo. I love my Echo. I don't like my Echo. I love my Echo. Now, having said that, it is a brand new RV line from Winnebago. So there's little tweaks that they have to do. I'm taking it into the shop. A bunch of little things. It's nothing big. But it runs like a dream. It's got power. It's small enough. The best so far has been the tailgaters have been awesome. Tarn's season is done. My son's season is done for soccer. And he's looking for a new team right now. So the Oakland Roots I think it's just too damn political, and I'm not even going to go there. But his agent's looking for a new team. If you need anybody in the world, including Liverpool, who needs the best left back in all of America, give me a call. Bix Weir. Bix at Road to Ruta. Left back extraordinaire. Tarnware. All right, moving on. I'm not going to pimp my son out. Let's see. We got questions. The next question is about stable coins. And somebody sent this question in. What is the point of stable coins? Those who don't know, stable coins are cryptocurrencies that are backed by something. And it's supposed to tell you what they're backed by. For a long time, Tether was supposed to be backed by the US dollar. And that was proven to be a lie, a huge lie. And they got away with it because they're deep state. That's all I can say. It's a deep state coin. I do think it'll be taken down when the good guys finally pull the plug on this game. But hey, what is the purpose of a stable coin? Well, they claim it is to have a stable cryptocurrency so you can go in and out of it. So say Bitcoin's about to hit $100,000 and you believe that the exchange is going to be around. You could put swap your Bitcoin for a stable coin that'll say at $100,000, and the idea being Bitcoin crashes to 20,000, you sell your stable coin for Bitcoin, and you made all that. You saved yourself a big crash, and you made all that money. I think it's more of a tax dodge because a lot of people in the crypto exchanges aren't reporting what they're doing. So every sale where you make money is theoretically, although I haven't seen the tax law, I don't think there is an official tax law, is a capital gain. So that's the idea. And there's good stable coins and there's bad stable coins. I don't trust any of them because they are completely dependent upon the system being intact and these exchanges being intact, which I don't think they will be for much longer. But if you're going to use a stable coin, I'd use USD. I think that's the Coinbase one. I think Kraken has one. Gemini has one. I would not, and I repeat, would not come within 1,000 miles of Tether. That's deep state. That's pedo coin. I am not touching that worth a dang. So just an FYI, stay clear of that. But will that take down the system? It could be used as a reason why the market riggers took down Bitcoin for a while. Again, on the road to Ruta, we hodl. We've been hodling since Bitcoin was $200, and we're going to continue to hodl until we need some money. And then, what are you going to cash in your crypto for, other than silver, which might be a good idea to lighten up on some crypto and buy some silver? What are you gonna trade it for? U.S. dollars? No. Yeah, I'm gonna get my U.S. dollars and then I'll get back in after the crash. Okay, good luck. Talk to Snippy about Theta. Didn't work out. He's made other good calls though. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to get in a fight with Snippy. I love the man, and I missed our conversations with Cliff High, the three amigos back in the early days. This is the stuff we were saying, hey, all the banks are going to come on board. Remember when JP Morgan was saying, anybody, Jamie Dimon, anybody in my company that buys cryptocurrencies, I'm going to fire them on the spot. And now what are they doing? They're probably one of the largest banking players in cryptocurrencies. They're all coming on. All the gold bugs who said, Bitcoin's going to die. How'd that work out for you? And it didn't work for the last 10 years. It's not going to work for the next 50. That's for sure. So, all right. Patriot, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. There is a Let's Go, Brandon Road to Ruta hat in the works. Right, Paige? This is a pre-announcement of the Road to Ruta merchandise general store. At some point, we're hoping to get it done before Christmas, so you guys get your Road to Ruta stuff before. No, I'm not shing. I'm putting pressure on Paige. She's putting together a merch store. It's gonna be awesome. I've seen some of the stuff, and I'm like, wow, I want that. I want that. So get ready for that. Hopefully, we get it before Christmas. Texas Hill Country, we were just there. Haven't heard you talk about Holo Chain in some times. What's up with it? It's doing well, actually. Holochain was always something that I looked at, and I'm like, that's going to do well in the long term. Short term, it's going to take a while, especially with the boxes that they have, the mining boxes, and well, it's not mining, it's a storage box. Basically, Holochain developed a technology that is it's decentralized cloud storage. Really brilliant idea. But it's going to take a while to develop and build and have people get their Holo. I do have a Holo box that I haven't set up at the new house yet. But yeah, I still love it. I think it's doing pretty well, though. Lately, it's up over a penny or whatever it was. It's doing well. So, yeah, I'm still a fan of it. I'm a hodler of that, absolutely. I think the only roadblock they have is the same roadblock that a lot of crypto companies have, is that they ICO'd. I don't think they should have ICO'd, but I guess they didn't have any money at the time. I was reading somewhere that someone said that Theta had ICO'd. No, they haven't ICO'd. There are still old posts of the attempted ICO that Theta was going to do. They pulled it at the last second. I was part of that. I was going to be part of that ICO. They pulled it at the last second. They did not ICO. Just in case there's any kind of confusion, they did not ICO. They didn't need to. They didn't need the money. They have the biggest partners in the world. So I'm not saying they're scot-free from the regulators, because the regulators don't know where they're going to go, what they're going to do. Gary Gensler is making the call now, the head of the SEC. Gary Gensler, yes, the very same guy that was head of the CFTC during the JP Morgan rigging job. It's bad shit. All right, let's see. I'm going to move on to the next question. It's about Tether. What are the ramifications if Tether is involved with Evergrande? The rumor is that Tether was searching for anything to back their cryptocurrency that could yield something for them. They were using cryptocurrencies that were owned by a whole bunch of different people. It was too ugly. So the regulators came down on them. Now they're saying Tether is backed by the U.S. Treasury bonds and other assets. So most likely for them, they're looking for high yield assets, and that would be stuff like Evergrande bonds, which are basically all over the place in almost every bank, because they were paying such high rates at a time when people needed yield. The banks, interest rates so low, you need yield, and the rumor is that Tether put a hell of a lot of money into Evergrande bonds. I don't know, though. I don't care. It's a criminal organization, and whether they did or not, they went without anything for a long time, I believe. And then, the regulators come down on them. And I remember after they're highly involved in the what was the EOS ICO, Block One, and those guys are heavily involved. They're all it's part of the crypto cabal, as I call them, and they will shift assets. One day somebody's assets are being pledged here and over here and over here, and that's deep state stuff. I don't want to deal with that at all. Stray dog at play. Beers at Boonville, Bix? Yeah. One of my favorite spots, Boonville Brewery. Yeah. I can't tell you when, though, because actually I'm going to be up there soon. Send me an email and tell me when you want to go. We're not that far from the Boonville Brewery. If you guys don't know, Boonville Brewery is awesome. It's a great beer and great fun, and they have actually an 18-hole Frisbee golf course out behind it. And with water, you go over water and around trees. It's just unbelievable. It's great. All right. Okay, the last question from our pre-questions, and then I'll get to some questions online here. Yo, Bix buddy, we have palindrome days coming in December. Quite a few of them, as a matter of fact, 11, and it should be interesting. Yeah, I didn't know they were coming, and yes, they are coming. Those who don't know, this is all in relation to the guy who wrote the Road to Ruta comic books or adapted the Road to Ruta comic books for the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. A guy named Stephen DeVoe all into secrets and games and hidden meanings and palindromes. And palindromes are basically words or numbers that frontwards or backwards say the same thing. For example, the coming days of palindromes are January. Oh, these are January. Yeah. 1, 2, 2. Yeah, they're January palindromes. I think there's some in December too. Anyway, like January 20th, 2021. Oh, that's past. Yes, there's more in December. So it'll be 12, 11, 21. It's front, like there, like that's one. 12, 11, 21. Frontwards and backwards is 12, 11, 21. And you can do it with words. People do it with sentences. And it's a part of that numerology thing that the deep state and the dark cults and all that shit, and they try to mix it with their weird spirituality. Yeah, Paige, there you go. 12, 11, 21. And there's a bunch of them supposedly in December. I would say 12, 22, 21 would be one too. 12, 1. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, but you're missing the zeros. So I don't know if that's a true palindrome. If you're supposed to put zero, I don't know. Well, let's call up Stephen DeVoe. This is this guy, and what his job at the Fed was to implement the computer programs that Alan Greenspan had written to control the U.S. dollar when he was at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston. When he left there in the mid-'80s, he went to the big banks, he went to brokerage houses to implement his computer trading programs. Now, he is not a bad guy. From everything I read, he was working with the good guys just to control the system, and then it kind of got away from them all with when the Bushes took over in the late 80s or early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and then all shit went to hell. And basically the banksters took over the high-frequency trading. A guy named Vincent Viola is now in charge of all the market rigging for the banksters. He runs a company called Virtu Financial. There's nothing virtuous about Virtu Financial. He's the only bullion bank on the SLV authorized participant list, Virtu Financial. And they've never, as far as I can tell, they've never, ever taken delivery of physical silver. That I can see. Their name has never popped up anywhere that I can see. They wouldn't have any need to. They're a 100% computer rigging company. So, all right. A super chat. Look at that. Jay McCabe, thank you very much. My Elite Edge node never gets jobs. Should I unstake my 20,000 and go to a pool? If your Elite Edge node is running 100% of the time, it will get jobs. It would be on occasion. There are probably not a lot of jobs at that time or that area. I'm not sure how that works. I do know they changed the amount of T-fuel that's allocated to all the edge nodes so that you don't get it all the time. You get it every 3 or 4 days, depending on how much you put in. But I don't know. I don't run my own node. I used to, and then it kept going down because software updates or my computer would turn off. I just use Gpool. I like the Gpool guys. So, I just stick it with Gpool. Then you don't have to worry about it. And they have like 99% uptime, best in the business. And truthfully, unless you're on top of your computer at all times, you're probably, you have to pay them a little fee to use their system. But at the same time, you're probably going to make it up because you don't have to, watch it. And you'll probably be down a lot of the time anyway. All right. Let's see. Oak says, Cliff High just got done saying in his latest video that we're entering the threshold for $600 silver. Any thoughts on that? Absolutely. We should have been at $600 silver 30 years ago. My thoughts would be, good riddance, Bank of America and Citibank. The amount of losses wouldn't be in the hundreds of billions of dollars for those banks that are naked short silver, and they should be. But no, I don't think we'll see silver trading on the COMEX. You won't see it advertised anywhere, $600 silver. You might be able to get $600 when you go down to your local silver store because no one can find it anywhere. But a $600 silver price trading on the COMEX would be impossible because it would mean over $100 billion in losses for the top two naked shorts that are on the COMEX. Now, unless they're given some reprieve, which they probably will be, maybe they will. Maybe they say, okay, let's just start fresh. Everybody settle up right now, and then we'll start a new market with new prices. I don't know. They're so criminal that it doesn't really matter as long as the COMEX is up and running and the LBMA, which nobody really looks at anyway, but as long as the COMEX is up and running, we will not know the true price of silver. All right, the Toy Doc, thank you for the live chat. Bix, do we own anything with Theta Labs by owning Theta, T-Fuel, T-Drop, or are these all separate? I'm not sure what you're saying. Theta Labs is like the mother ship that currently it is kind of centralized. It had to be because of what they do, and they're getting rid of the centralization as best they can, slowly but surely. And yes, I mean, if you own Theta, Theta Fuel, and soon to be T-Drop, absolutely, you own Theta. It is a standalone asset. It has nothing to do with Theta Labs. And you own T-Fuel. It's your own standalone asset. You have that spot on the Theta blockchain. That's the beauty of cryptos. That's the beauty of silver and gold. They're standalone assets. JP Morgan goes down and crashes. You don't give a shit because you got your standalone Theta. You might not know what the price is because the exchanges will go down, but you'll have it in your possession. And that's the key to surviving the collapse of the old system and the starting of something new. All right. Josh says, don't forget to enter our sweepstakes. Yes, we're giving away $5,000 of Theta and Theta Fuel just for entering the sweepstakes. One person is going to get it. It is going till the end of the month, which is, we got like a week and a half left at the end of the month. So go to roadtoruta.com and the sweepstakes button right at the top, click on that, and put your name in there. We got a lot of entries. So, I mean, it's good and bad. It's good that people are taking interest and people are wanting to get a shot at the $5,000 worth of Theta and Theta Fuel. It's bad because the more people that enter, your odds of winning go down. But hey, who knows? They're better than the lottery. How's that? Chances are better than the lottery. All right. What do we got here? Kurt McLeod, do you still see $88.88 Theta by the end of December 2021? Absolutely, I do. And I can give you a couple ways that can happen. The obvious one is if Coinbase picks them up. There's a lot of rumors about Coinbase. When Coinbase. The fact that they aren't on any U.S. exchanges now, it's almost become laughable, even in the crypto industry, which is kind of laughable anyway. But the fact that none of the U.S. exchanges have picked them up tells you that why. They were number 8 crypto at one time. Probably the most important crypto for the internet in general, in their ability to... Oh, Amy has just walked in. For the ability for broadband expansion, especially, but as a CDN, a content delivery network, it's a brilliant invention. And why isn't it traded on Coinbase? I don't know. And that's all it would take. Once it goes there, 888, you'll be long in the rearview mirror. Also, Katy Perry concert in Vegas. That's going to be huge. She has signed a contract with Theta Labs and doing T-drops, and she's going to be probably singing Theta Girl in her show in Vegas. Or I'll be her opening act and go sing Theta Girl for her. But that's going to be huge. I mean, how many fans does Katy Perry have? A hell of a lot. Yes, Amy, do you have a question?
You missed a super chat question.
I missed a super chat question. Okay, what is it?
Toy Doc.
What is it?
Do we own anything with Theta Labs by owning Theta, T-Fuel, and T-Drop, or are these all
Are you listening?
separate?
I just answered that one while you were walking upstairs.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You didn't.
There's a delay, dear. There's a delay. She'll see this video and say, "Oh no." Okay, we got a couple other super chats. Somebody gave me $8.88. I love that. Stephen McCoy, is it safe to leave Theta in their wallet? Depends what wallet you're talking about. The safest is a hardware wallet, either a Trezor or a Ledger wallet. They have fixed the Trezor problem, in case anybody was wondering. And the Trezor problem was not caused by Theta Labs. It was caused by Trezor changing their code. And so Theta had to make some changes to the blockchain. It took a little while, but that's fixed. Second safest, I would probably say, is, well, a paper wallet if you know how to make them. But the mobile wallet's pretty damn safe and easy to use. As long as nobody has your code and nobody messes with your SIM card and all that stuff. But if you have a lot, just keep it in a hardware wallet. That's my take. Dan says, time is running out. Are you sticking with your end of year prediction of $88? No, I'm sticking with $88.88. Again, it's so easy to get there for Theta. What's the Theta's all-time high is what, $16? So it would be, what, 5 times that. You don't think Theta will go 5x when Coinbase is announced and all of a sudden 300 million Americans can buy it instead of going through Caleb and Brown, which, thank God for Caleb and Brown, all the Road to Ruta members, if you haven't bought your Theta yet, go to Caleb and Brown and buy your Theta. You can also do a swap on SimpleSwap. And there's a couple other exchanges, but all of them are sketchy. I trust Caleb and Brown, but I don't keep coins with them. I get them off. Get them in your own possession. That's my mantra. All right, let's see what else we got. So yes, my $88.88 projection that was my prediction. Last year, by the end of this year, and I see many ways it could happen. Either Katy Perry, or maybe even there's a lot of talk right now of a new validator. What happens if Apple becomes a new validator or Netflix becomes a new validator? Everybody's like, whoa, wait. And all the people who invest in Apple and Netflix in traditional stocks and bonds will look at a tech company like Theta Labs and how that's set up and say, oh my God, this is like an unknown tech company that I can invest in right now and have my foot half in the crypto world. So yeah, $88.88 will get blown by at some point. Yeah, absolutely. It can happen overnight. Will it happen by the end of the year? I think so. We'll find out, right? Any way you do it, I'm not selling at $88.88. I'm hanging on for Theta for the long term. All right, let's see what we got here. Bix, would you consider doing an interview with Will Weir of Perpetual Assets? Will and I have done probably 20 interviews. I was just down there in Texas with him last month. And we did an interview from there. We did an interview on prepping. We had a great background with all these storage shelves and stuff. So absolutely, anytime Will calls me or I call Will and we feel like shooting the shit. My favorite was when I was in my greenhouse in Oakland. He was in his greenhouse that was growing some very interesting green leafy things that weren't vegetables. And I'm like, what is that behind you? That was classic. So yeah, Will, perpetualassets.com. Will get your ass out of your 401k or your IRA. Yeah, IRAs. 401ks are tough because that's with your company. But out of your IRA, roll it over into a self-directed IRA so you can get your assets in your own possession. And there's a lot of IRAs that say, oh yeah, we'll buy cryptos for you and we'll buy silver for you. It doesn't matter. If it's not in your own possession, you don't own it. You don't own it. This is cryptos. This is silver. If it's not in your own possession, you don't own it. You got to hope and pray the banking system stays together. Good luck with that. Okay. Michael Lideker, Bix, I got Bitcoin through a pawn shop, and went to SimpleSwap, and then I got Theta in my wallet. I love that. And that's the way you have to attack this new world, is to figure out a way forward. And in cryptos, you got to figure it out. Do not be sleeping on the sidelines. I feel bad for all my gold bug friends who just couldn't get their head around what cryptos are. And that was 10 years ago. And now they still can't get their heads around. Not, most of them have come over, but they're still like diehards. Chris Dwayne's still saying just silver only. And he will not admit that he made a huge mistake in telling his people don't get Bitcoin when it was whatever he said it was. I think he saw it at like $10 or $20. It's a huge mistake. It's because he didn't understand it. So by now he should understand. The whole world is starting to understand and how important it is. Decentralized. It's decentralized. Decentralized is the way of the future because we're not going to trust any of these assholes. We're not going to trust the media. We're not going to trust the politicians, obviously. We're not going to trust our banks. We're not going to trust anybody. You got to take care of yourself from now on. The past is not coming back. Those days are long gone. That's the old America. America will look completely different in 5 years. Completely different. It might not even be called America. I don't know what it will be called. I don't know what it will be like. I don't think there'll be another president. I don't think there's one now, truthfully. But that's for another day. All right. Thomas says, yes, you can buy silver in any retirement account, not in bullion, but in coin of the realm. Yeah, I mean, you can buy SLV. You can buy silver eagles, but you can't keep them in your own possession. That's the key. If they're not in your own possession, you got to pray the system stays together. Josh says, Bix, where can we buy your book? I had it. There was a general store on the road to Ruta, which is coming back with our merch and stuff. I have 4 books, by the way, on conversations with God about gold and silver. I will put it up on the website. They're all PDF books that you can download. I'll put it up right in front of the website so you can check it out and see if you're interested. I think we give the first book away for free, if I recall. It's been a while since I looked at that. But no, there is no hard copies. Although I made a couple hard copies and gave them away as like prizes. But no, it's a digital book. All right. Shane 220 WE. Crypto is digital. That's what they want. See, that's lazy. That's just a lazy way to look at cryptos. These people who are investing in cryptos aren't idiots. Digital scarcity is something that is real. You can't mess with the Bitcoin blockchain. You can't change it. And it's immutable. It's always going to be there. And because it has to be approved by everybody. It's not just digital. The digital dollar, yeah, that's something. If central banks ever made digital currencies, crypto-type currencies, they wouldn't make it immutable. They wouldn't cap the amount of coins created. They would make it so that they controlled it, not everybody who used it controlled it. There's a gigantic leap that you need to intellectually make to move into the future. And the longer you wait to make that leap, you're going to get left behind, just like you're getting left behind right now. Please put more Jenny Moonstone on YouTube. Jenny's on my channel like twice a week. Go to the private road to Ruta. Get all the good, juicy, deep stuff from her. Oh my God, the latest one, I haven't even put it up yet, is on Alive or Dead. I go through about 10 people that you all know, and I go, are you alive? Is this person really alive, or are they dead? Are they just like a clone? A look-alike, and some will very much surprise you. And I learned a lot. I always learn a lot hanging out with Jenny, and she's cool, by the way. And you can get a reading from Jenny. She has a new website, jennyconstantine.com. jennyconstantine.com. She was having problems with her old website, and then the guy who was in charge of it kind of ran away with the site name, so she had to change it. It's jennyconstantine.com. So go check her out. And okay, let's see what else we got. C3PO said, what happened to Litecoin? That was my favorite coin 3 years ago. I love Litecoin. I still have a lot of Litecoin. Litecoin is the right coin as a means of exchange. That's the key for Litecoin. Right now, we still use the US dollar as a means of exchange. And so Litecoin is not going to have its day until that system falls away for good. I mean, it's doing great. It's doing fine. It was up over like $300, wasn't it? $200, $300? I haven't looked at it in a long time. But yeah, Litecoin is absolutely a great coin to own if you want to buy a cryptocurrency that will be accepted all over the world. And Litecoin is one that is absolutely getting bought and sold and used through all kinds of means. I have a Litecoin Visa card. And all you do, it's a debit card. You just deposit some Litecoin. They hold your Litecoin, and then when you make a transaction, they'll sell the Litecoin, and voila. And it's a Visa card. So yes, I love Litecoin. Will it do as well as some others? Well, when the banks crash, yeah, it'll do great. I think it'll go 4-1 with Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin will be all that great in the future. They made Bitcoin too static. It's Cliff saying either static or dynamic in the future, and Bitcoin is just too static. They don't want to change it. They don't want to make it usable. They want it to be a store of value. You know, they meaning the core developers who kind of got taken over by the bankster crowd. It's sad, but Bitcoin will always be there because it's the first. But I don't think it'll do as well as a lot of these newer cryptos that have actual use cases, which is great. So there you have it. Terrible certainty says, I have a bag of BCH. Yeah, I don't have any Bitcoin, but I do have Bitcoin Cash because I like what they're doing. The whole idea behind Bitcoin Cash was, hey, Bitcoin, you're not becoming money like you're supposed to be. Let's make it faster and easier to use. Bitcoin Cash, voila. And I think it's going to be huge in China. And yeah, I think China's a fraud. Evergrande is a fraud. Accident waiting. I don't know what would be worse, Evergrande imploding or the Three Gorges Dam imploding. But I think both are teetering on the brink. So yeah, who knows? What do I think about Bitcoin SV? I think it's a fraud. But hey, everybody pick your crypto. It's like pick your poison. I have a lot that didn't work out. I have a lot of cryptos, and we talked about this 6-7 years ago when we were talking with Cliff. Snippy and we did our Three Amigos discussions, and Cliff was saying, yeah, a lot of these won't work out, but at the same time, a lot are going to be, the monster winners, and that's exactly what happened. Some of them didn't work out that I thought were great. Salt was one of my favorites, and the thing is, it did work out for the company. The company's still getting the Salt loans out, crypto loans, but the SEC came after them. And when the SEC goes after you, Veritasium, I still hold out hope for that criminal activity that the SEC took on Reggie Middleton. Reggie Middleton is an unsung hero for the crypto crowd, or at least he should be. He is in my book. And the SEC, what they did to him, only because he invented a better way and their criminality would have to end. They took him down as pretty much as hard as you could possibly take someone down in the crypto world. They didn't throw him in jail. They just stole all his money. They stole all his tokens, or they stole 98 million tokens of the 100 million Veritasium tokens. And they stuck it in a freezer, and it has not moved, and they won't say a word about it. But what they did is an embarrassment to the United States of America. And I am just livid at the regulators, the criminals within the regulators, for what they did to Reggie. And not to mention the holders of Veritasium. I mean, literally, Reggie had a memorandum of understanding from the Jamaican Stock Exchange to make it a fair exchange, peer-to-peer transactions, and they shut it down. Our stock exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, is one of the most criminal enterprises in the history of the United States of America. Look at the volumes. It's all fake. You think gold and silver are bad? Look at the volumes of Apple stock that trades. A lot of people put Apple stock in their 401k and don't even think about it. Don't touch it for 10 years. But their share trades 37 times per day. It's insane. And there's nobody watching it. These high-frequency traders have taken over everything, and then the banks took over the high-frequency traders, and now they're rehypothecating U.S. bonds. So fake bonds are being bought, sold, and traded. It's insane. So, yeah. Free Reggie was the call, and Reggie will do fine. He got his patent in Japan, so at least Japan, Veritasium could be a monster just doing that. Peer-to-peer transactions in Japan. Or, the U.S. might turn over a leaf, grant Reggie his patents, and all DeFi will have to answer to Reggie because he invented DeFi financing back in the early day, very early day, and he got a patent on it. So I don't know. I am holding my Veritasium tokens like lottery tickets. Probably won't be worth anything, but it might be worth the world. That's my take there. Just Reading says, a class action suit was successfully won against Reggie for pumping up the price. Right or wrong, this has been adjudicated. That is bullshit. First of all, there wasn't a class action lawsuit. It was the SEC coming after Reggie. And the only reason that Reggie said, okay, let's settle, is because they would have destroyed him and his life. They did anyway. So, no, you got it absolutely 100% wrong, Just Reading. It's just wrong. And how come Reggie Middleton, Veritasium, is the only token on CoinMarketCap that has this big red warning on top of it? There's so many frauds out there. EOS is probably the biggest fraud ever, and the Block 1 guys, and they got away with it. You know, they paid $20 million. They took everything Reggie had and more. And then does EOS have a big red warning? Don't talk to these guys. CoinMarketCap's a fraud. I mean, the whole thing's a fraud. And Just Reading is saying there was an announcement to sign up to participate. I chose not to just based on principle, but it did happen. What are you talking? I thought you said it was a class action suit that was successfully won. The announcement was after Reggie settled, they got a law firm to say, okay, if you bought Veritasium, you can turn in your Veritasium and we'll give you back the cash that you paid for it. And basically, they're going to use all Reggie's money for that. So, no, I guess you just don't know exactly what's going on. But I highly recommend studying it. Read the lawsuit that the SEC brought against Reggie, and you'll see what a fraud these people are. And then read the rebuttal that Reggie's lawyer instantly filed, and you'll see how correct Reggie was the whole time. And they just took his reputation and dragged it through the mud. So now that people who don't read these things sit there and say, oh, he's a fraud. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that's where that is. I'm a big fan of Reggie. I'm a big fan of Veritasium. Still, I think it can save us from the biggest problem in the world today, which is rehypothecated assets, fake trading, high-frequency fake trading, and COMEX derivative trading. Reggie fixes all that. Come on, bring it. All right. Kristen says, can you stake Theta and leave it on a Trezor wallet? How do you do that through Gpool? Yes, you can. We do have, on the private road, we have a section on Theta, how to buy it, store it, and stake it. But there's also videos on YouTube. You can find out how to do that. Gpool, great guys over there that run that. It makes it so that you don't have to run the node yourself. And most people shouldn't. Well, with Theta, they don't charge anything either, so that's pretty good. With Theta Fuel, they do charge. All right. V says, silver to the moon. Now, I absolutely 100% agree with that. So does Jenny Moonstone, and she can explain to you the spiritual ramifications of the moon and silver and how silver can free humanity. And she has long said that we will never be free until silver is freed and the children's situation is taken care of, and they will happen simultaneously. If you want to know when silver would be freed, the problem with the children needs to come out, and people need to fully understand what was being done to them and how and why and by who or whom. All right. Lawrence Williams says Gpool Theta is not available anymore. Not that I know of. I mean, I'm still using their node. I think it's still up and running. You guys can answer in the chat room. Let's see. Bix, is Holochain on your top 5 crypto hodl list? If I thought about a crypto hodl list, I think I had one like years and years ago. Yes, it would be on there. Hot would be on there. Obviously, the Theta family of tokens. Litecoin, obviously. Bitcoin Cash. And what would be my top 5? Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. There's another one. And Veritasium. There you go. That's 5. But hey, there's plenty. And I would say I try to stay away from the ones that the regulators are going to go after. And the ones that will be highly affected by the crypto cabal being taken down or the deep state being taken down. My thoughts on Digibyte. I like Digibyte. So like it's okay. It's in my top 20, but the problem they were trying to solve with the faster transactions has already been solved by a lot of other coins. So I think they kind of waited. Took too long for Digibyte to fully be implemented, and now other coins are just kind of passing it by. That's my take, at least. And everybody's got their own coins, their own take on their own coins. Shiba Inu is a classic. I was very anti-Shiba and anti-Dogecoin because there was why. But the reality is, a meme coin can help cryptocurrencies. I mean, how many people bought Shiba Inu? Millions and millions of people bought this stupid Shiba Inu coin. And what does that do? It spreads knowledge and awareness of cryptocurrencies, and it keeps the regulators from going after just a small amount of crypto people. I think that's why Elon Musk was jumping up and down about Shiba and other things, is to get people involved so that the regulators don't come in and do their criminal activity. If enough people are bitching and moaning that they're putting regulation on Shiba Inu, then the regulators are going to have to run away. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, they don't work in a bubble. These regulators are human beings working mainly for the banks and the politicians. I would love to have Gary Gensler in the Road to Ruta chat room. And Gary, if you've got time to give me an interview, we could talk about silver manipulation that you know everything about. You were the head of the CFTC. We could talk about what the SEC did to Reggie Middleton and why. We could talk about a whole lot of things that I think you know about. And if you are a good guy, if you're working for the good guys, which I'm not so sure you are, but if you are, you wouldn't mind talking about this stuff. So give me a call, Gary. All right. Let's see. Price prediction for Theta end of year, $88.88. That was my price prediction since I think it was last November. I put that down. $88. I made my graph. $88.88. And the way it gets there, yes, I know it's under $7 or whatever it is right now. The way it gets there is either added to Coinbase, which probably would put it into the couple $100s, or something we already know is going to happen, which is the Katy Perry Vegas event. It starts, the first show is December 28th. Other things could happen too. For example, Apple Computer could be signed on as a validator, or Netflix as a validator. You know how much money Netflix would save on content delivery network costs? Same with Amazon and their Amazon Prime. Massive amounts of money can be saved by hooking up with Theta and using the Theta edge nodes. I mean, it is the future. Cliff's recent discussion of satellites blowing up, crashing into each other, and which is happening right now. It's like the ping pong effect. I talked about that this morning. Is the best thing in the world for Theta. I mean, Theta is not in a low Earth orbit like Elon Musk satellites that could all disappear with, one of them blows up and everyone in that same orbit is going to have little shards of satellite poking into it. We got a problem above the Earth, and Russia just blew up 2 satellites. They blew up one, and everybody was bitching, what are you doing? You're adding space junk. And then they blew up another one. So no, we blew it up so much there's hardly any. Baloney. It's like, that airplane that crashed in Pennsylvania on 9/11 that disintegrated into the nothingness. And there was no parts left because it went into the ground so fast. The insanity of some of this stuff is just unbelievable. Anyway, Ryan O'Neill says, I'd be happy with $20 by the end of the year. Thanks for your answer. Well, sure. I mean, I'm a hodler. I'll be happy with 20. I'll be happy with, if it gets any lower, I'll just buy some more. I don't want to sell any silver, obviously. But I mean, once you understand what Theta and Theta Fuel are, and probably T-Drop too, although I'm no expert on the metaverse and on NFTs. And I'm the first to admit that. I got Josh doing all this homework on it. I don't even want to know, truthfully. I kind of know how it'll be gigantic with the younger crowd. And I am heavily invested in T-Fuel. I think T-Fuel will probably do better at current, 21 to 1, do better than Theta over the next couple months. But I'm not going to unstake my Theta that's going to earn me T-Drop come January 1st. But yeah, I don't, NFTs, I'm thinking, cool. I could do some songs on as NFTs. Josh is working on, what I want to do is have this dagger in a GIF form, kind of like rotating as an NFT. Something like that. I mean, it's a collectible. I used to like collectibles when I was a kid, and some of them worked out, some of them didn't. Baseball cards got destroyed by the internet. Baseball cards were this huge thing. I remember getting, what was his name? Mark McGuire rookie card and Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards, and thinking, oh my God, this is worth $100. This is unbelievable. And internet comes around, and all of a sudden everybody, and all the fake cards come out, and the card companies start making like massive amounts because they're selling out like it's gone crazy, and poof, that whole industry is gone. But NFT could have saved that. NFT could have saved the baseball card industry by having each card have its own NFT. And NFT, you can't, it is what it is at the time it was, type of thing. So yeah, I'm excited about and there's so much that can be done with NFTs. So, Tommy's saying status of Tom Brady. Now, I predicted, well, it wasn't my prediction. The crypto viewing guys predicted that there would be a sports star CEO that says, buy Theta at some point in time. That has not happened yet. There are sports stars that started their own NFT company. Tom Brady, probably one of the biggest sports stars in the world. He is the CEO of this company. It all fit in. But this was a remote viewing for Theta specifically as to when Theta would really start running. So, for example, if in December Tom Brady says, hey, these guys over at Theta just got their KYC, they know what they're doing, we're going to do all our NFTs on the Theta blockchain, poof, you've got your $88.88 silver, or Theta. Stuff like that can happen really easily. And I think if Autograph is honest with itself, and same with DraftKings, they know they can't deal with entities that aren't KYC compliant, because that's the regulators. DraftKings will not mess with their primary business, and they've said it a million times. That's why they've done NFTs, but you can't take them off of DraftKings. What's the use of buying an NFT unless you can get it in your own possession? That's ridiculous. It's like going to, as Bitcoin Ben says, going to the grocery store, buying, picking out your groceries, standing in line, paying for them, and then walking out without your groceries. That's what cryptos are. Don't leave your cryptos in any exchanges. It's like walking out without your groceries. Get them in your own possession. You bought it. It's your responsibility to store it, keep it, and it's your precious. It's your precious. All right. Texas Hill Country. Okay, who is Josh? Josh works for Road to Ruta. We have 2 employees. Well, 3 employees. Amy's kind of an employee. She's my boss, basically. Amy is my boss and my wife. Paige is my daughter, and Josh is my daughter's boyfriend. They both work for Road to Ruta, doing various duties. We're working them hard, and it's good. They're doing a great job. So yeah, say hi to them. They're in the chat room right now, I think. And yeah, I'm very proud of what they're doing. They took an interest in the Road to Ruta pretty early on, and they were trying to explain to all their millennial friends. I think, are they millennial or Gen X? I don't know what it is. And their friends are saying, what? Now, with Shiba Inu coming out, they're all saying, oh my God, the Shiba Inu, and Paige is like, what? Why didn't you buy Theta when it was 5 cents? So, yeah, it's pretty fun. All right, the gold oil ratio is rising high. Yeah, wait till they put oil to minus 40 again. Right now, the socialists want oil prices as high as possible. That's why Biden's shutting down pipelines. They're trying to destroy America and turn it into a socialist country. What does it do? It's an added tax on everybody who drives, or everybody who eats food that's delivered to the grocery store, because it's got to be shipped in by a truck, and all those costs get added. Oil prices that rise is a tax. And when you know that they can rig the price to any number on the spectrum and even negative $40, you might call up Gary Gensler, although he's not the head of the CFTC anymore, Rustin Benham and Janet Yellen and Joe Biden, say, what the fuck? Why are you doing this to us? Why are you stealing our money through an oil tax? Not even to mention the taxes on the oil, but literally, high oil prices, that's a tax on you. So, there you have it. Okay, high oil prices support the economics of electric vehicles, which the left loves. True. That's true. Although my wife has an electric vehicle and absolutely loves it. I think that thing scares me. It goes too fast. I don't need to go 0 to 60 in less than a second. It's just crazy fast. That she has a Tesla. And I'm like, holy crap. Ludicrous mode. That's what, I'm an old man. I have an Echo RV, and I just bought a Ford truck, a Ford F-150. That's like the coolest truck ever now. It always was, but I got a Ford truck coming. I'm very excited. Of course, it takes months to get it because California isn't shipping any parts in because California wants to destroy America. But hey, what do you do? As Cliff says, we're all going to have to live through this. We're all living through this. I mean, this is what we came down here to live through. And learn your lessons. Be dynamic. Don't be static. You got to change. The past is not coming back ever. And try to find your niche. Find out where, look into the cryptocurrencies and all the things people are doing with them. Listen to Bitcoin Ben. He's got a great group of, I think it's like a couple hundred people building crypto-related businesses. Brilliant idea. And they love Ben, and I love Ben. He's a great guy, and he's trying to help people get involved. Litecoin Lisa's out there helping people as well, and a whole bunch of my friends. Hopefully they can join us on the road for as many stops as possible, starting in February. And kind of that's where I want to end today, is that we are going on tour. February 2nd, I believe, is the day we are going to be leaving, jumping in the Echo RV and probably a truck with hauling another trailer, depending on how much stuff we need. We don't need much stuff. It's me and my guitar and some props. Props. We need I think the Silver Dagger needs its own vehicle to travel in. But we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for... we haven't done a live chat in so long. And 6-0, give me a thumbs up while you're here. Give me a thumbs up. See my hand? I was taking a tree root out, and I screwed up my hand. So give me a thumbs up and a like. And please subscribe to my videos. YouTube has been I've been trying to get to 100,000 viewers for years now. And every time I get close, they take off 5,000 viewers. And it's just crazy. The censorship is off the charts. It's so sad that we have to navigate it. But hey, again, this is why we came here. It's going to be a lot worse before it gets better. And get your physical silver in your own possession. Get your cryptos in your own possession. My favorite is Theta and Theta Fuel right now. If you want me to choose one over the other, I'd say Theta Fuel at 20-1, and then silver. I'd buy half and half. Half and half is a great number. Silver has 170 years of price suppression that's going to be cut loose. And once that cut loose, you're going to laugh at how high silver goes compared to cryptos. People go, oh, I had a 300% gain in my crypto. And silver's going to blow that away if it's ever freely traded. Blow it away. It's going 1-to-1 with gold, and gold's going to go up $10, $20, $30,000 an ounce. So silver at $10, $20, $30 an ounce, you're doing okay. That's my take. All right, you guys, take care, be safe, and watch your road to root in the morning. I'll talk to you later.